So thanks everyone for coming to Let's Get Stupid with light painting and cosplay photography. My name is Rob Squackhammer, and this is Taco Cat Cosplay. We're part of a team called Make Them Awesome. We've been working together in some way for almost 3 years now, right?
3 years, yeah.
Yeah, so, probably in May it's going to be about 3 years, I think. So we've been focusing on mostly cosplay. We've done some fine art stuff, but one thing we like to do a lot is actually experiment with new techniques. And one which I picked up on a while back was light painting. Who here knows of the concept of light painting? Let's say, okay, you do? Okay, have you, or?
I've seen it.
Okay. Let's say, has anybody actually experimented with it on their own? Okay, cool. So, so one great thing about these demos is we try to make them highly interactive. So I'm going to need some help here. So first off, I need somebody to man the lights at the back. So there we go. So it's the one that's currently on. Yeah, there's only one that's on.
Yeah, like the third one over, something like that.
Okay.
There
Yeah, that'll work. So actually, let's go ahead and turn it back on, because I'll actually tell you when to turn the lights on.
Turn it on, turn it on.
Okay.
We have that light switch installed for you, so you can turn the lights on and off. Not so you can throw light switches.
So when we've actually done this demo a couple times now, and we started with fairy lights. I got bored with it because then we ended up doing the same stuff. I'm using an old cell phone to kind of start the process. So Kirsten, I'm actually going to have you do
Wave
this.
the phone around.
Wave the phone around.
You're Sabrina, right?
Yes.
Do like a pentagram. Can you do a pentagram with it?
Oh.
Not that coordinated.
It would be really cool.
She is a scientist, so we know she's not that coordinated.
We know she can do geometry though.
Okay.
Calculus is better at that.
So we're not going to have you pose just yet. In fact, one of
Just a bit like that, and then.
yeah, in fact, I'm going to turn the flash off. So I'm going to go ahead and focus. Okay, beautiful. And you go ahead and turn the lights off for me.
Bye-bye.
All right. So actually, come in some. So on the count of 3, just start working around. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Make sure to face the screen towards, like, more straight. Okay, you can stop now. So that's just with a cell phone. Just to do something different. So, though you do kind of notice one bad thing, and you can actually go ahead and turn the lights back on. Thank you. What's that?
The ghosting.
Yeah. Well, and that's actually what I was going to call out too. Was one thing if you're doing is that because we're going to have the door open, we're going to have a little bit of light leak. But one great thing about our demos is we don't try for perfect. We like just experimenting and having fun. So, all right. So let's actually, Kirsten, I'm going to go ahead and start with you on getting the basic shot setup. So let's go ahead and let's just have you pose. Yeah. So actually, let's have you come forward. Like I said, this is just basically using the shot set up.
Goofy face.
You're not released.
We'll have to do it in spirit of movies. We're not doing it.
So we have an assistant who's also part of our team, Luis. And basically, I use him to test my lights, and he does something dumb each and every time. And that's why I was like, yeah, they're going to Facebook. I swear he gets more likes for those photos than we do for our own stuff. So there's something about that. So I'm going to just do a very basic pose because I'm just
gonna stay.
I'm going.
You're like, I am.
Yeah.
This is me.
You don't have to worry about the lights for now. It's just tape.
Oh, okay. I'll just stand here. Oops. Nothing else.
So the angle help control that on. So basically, let's do the normal Sabrina shot here. Make sure that looks good. And of course, if anybody has any questions in the midst of while we're doing all this, feel free to ask. Just feel free. So let's do this. Throw that there. I can work this out. Like I said, this is not meant to be perfect. Actually, one thing I will do though. How many people would have a problem seeing the screen if I bring the umbrella forward?
That's cool.
That's one thing.
No objections means do it.
That will help some.
Just gonna keep facing this way.
And actually good, I can actually bring the power down a little bit. Good, perfect. So, let me go with that. Let me get one more there. Yeah, I think we'll be good with that one here. So, I don't know who to start with you just yet.
Yeah, if you want me to go to light duty, and then we can get a magical person up in here.
Yeah.
Different kind of magical.
So,
She didn't be for
I'm sorry.
Not that
He
kind of
heard
magic.
lights, he caught it.
so I think, yeah, let's actually go ahead and have you exit out for the moment. I'm trying to
I'll go to
think.
you lights. So if you want to run up in
Trying to think here. Because we don't necessarily have to have a cosplayer up here being the subject. If anybody wants to be in the photo, anybody? Or we start with a cosplayer and I'll pull up Lorelai and make fun of her. Since
I'm just the old reliable. You can count on me. The heavy on the old part.
So actually, let's go ahead and start. This is something we've not been able to do yet. We've done a version of this, but it's really rather basic. It's with LED light strips. So you might have seen me play with this earlier.
The big long one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, but the nice thing is, I don't think you saw me messing with it earlier. So we'll definitely go this way. So the basic ones we've done before, they were like $5 from Walmart, and I'll have
Oh, okay, cool.
So hold on a minute. I'm explaining you something. So there's, like I said, there's ones we've used before, like for $5 at Walmart. That was it. But this one here is a little bit more. This was a $40 script set. It goes out to about 16 feet, but one of the things I really like about it is the fact that it actually has way more effects to it than most of the really basic ones. So, but we're going to start. Okay, so because her hair, pink and purple.
Pink and purple.
Oh, those are, so that's analog color.
Or blue.
Yeah, I'm trying to, actually, let's go with, maybe you're a little too, maybe not.
I
Hmm?
don't know if is that enough light?
Oh yeah, it will be, because remember, I want to be exposing for so many seconds. So,
He's gonna be exposing.
so we're going to try a few different things here on this. So let's go ahead and have you do a basic pose, there. Actually come for.
Yeah,
for
I'll
a
make
little
some
more.
space and I'm gonna do something with this.
Yes.
Just determined.
Question, do you have your camera set up there because Fluid 7 so stuff?
Sorry, one more question about the overtime?
Camera settings. You
Camera
have
settings,
ones.
okay. So, the very basic ones, and this is going to be more artistic preference, is I'm using a.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, no worries.
I was just like, I gotta ask them.
So, what I'm using here for the lens is just, I'm actually using a 16mm lens. Normally I'm using 35s or 50s, but mostly it's just because of the space considerations right now. And I'm going to f4 aperture because I like a little bit more of the sharpness, but it still needs to be depth of field, especially with this. So, and I'll actually explain a little bit more as I go for like why we're doing some of the long exposure stuff and how long we're doing it for. So, let me take that back.
Do we feel the lights?
Well, here in a moment, I'll tell you there. So first, when you go in, just do straight on. Just do straight for now.
Totally not gonna be very straight.
Well, oh, that's fine. All right. So Kristen, when you see the flash go off, just start. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You can go ahead and lights off. 1, 2. Oh, you didn't see the flash go off. Yeah.
It didn't go off.
Yeah, I didn't
And my modeling light's on. Yay! Oh, you can go ahead and turn the lights back on. Sorry.
Experiment. Science.
Look how
That's a
fuzzy.
nice creepy picture.
Well,
It's
science,
easy to
right?
focus, but your head's just a little. Looks like the upside
Oh, I
down.
see what's going on, or part of what's going on. You know what's part of going on? The
I agree with
battery switch. And of course this would happen right in the middle of the step. That's why you come prepared.
Well, if we start with one word, science.
What's that?
Science.
Science.
If everything worked on the first try, it would be boring.
Actually, that's actually the one thing I wish Godox would do, and that's just so anybody knows what lights I'm using. These are Godox 8200s. I love them because they're price competitive to everybody, and they work on pretty much any system now at this point. And one of the best investments I ever made there. Now I just wish they'd put their rechargeable battery tech into these because it's fantastic.
Then you'll be warm for hands.
So let's get you that on there. Come on.
I remember cosplayers, we always look for the fanciest way to fix something, but.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. Turn that on. So actually, this is one thing also I want to point out, because you know how we're having that little bit of lead in when we're having this door on? Even though the modeling light looks weak on this, it will have an effect. So make sure to always turn that off if you have a option that has a modeling light. Okay, let's go. We're back at 6.5. Okay, Lorelai, go ahead and post for me. And you go ahead and lights off. First one, you see flash. Let's go. 1, 2. Cool. Okay. See where we get there. Just to start out. Okay. So one thing I want to point out here, and this was actually kind of just some self-study of my own when we were doing these, or especially like the last couple times we've been doing these panels, is that, yeah, I was busy. I want to make sure that's the roll goes there. Is that we have been kind of focusing more on flat backgrounds, but there's a lot we can do with this idea because we have control of space. So, Kristen, let's have you try this here. Laura, well, actually, I'm going to actually stand there. That's going to be perfect. I might have to move back, but that's okay. So, what I'm going to do, let's actually try this out real quick, because I want to make sure you can move this. So, we'll probably have you start here. And what I'm going to have you do is actually do a U shape.
Okay, cool.
Okay? And actually, let's,
Should start with bend.
but actually, I'm trying to think here. So let's actually have you step out. But I'm going to go ahead and increase the exposure time to 8 seconds. So just for this, I was on 6.5.
Okay.
So, and actually, if you go ahead and lights on for me real quick so I can get focused. And that's one reason why I'm having to do this so I can get focused. There's some lighting software that's just easier. So, actually, I like that. Oh, that's even, yeah, actually do the look off to the side. I think I like that. There we go.
That's my classic look, up and left.
Okay, so we can go ahead and lights off for me. And like I said, when you come in, flash, just use shape around. It might not be long enough, we might have to take it up to 10. So. All right. All right. 1, 2. I probably would have come
Maybe a little too
for-
fast.
Well, the fast is okay. I think I just would have came a little bit, started a little bit more forward.
Yeah.
Like go here.
Give me a hug. Yeah, get me really close.
Yeah.
We're just gonna circle you with it.
Yes. Encircle me with light.
Oh, that actually.
So actually, so let's actually go back and let's go back and do
Yeah,
that. Like, when we start a little bit more forward.
Okay.
And actually, I think I'm gonna be okay. I just now realized how bright that is, and I'm like, man, I wonder if like I can actually use that to focus with and not have to worry about the lights.
This is much fun if you did the multicolor one.
Can I make a side note?
What's that?
So in this pose too, like as a cosplayer, if you look how so my tummy's pushing out, and then like when I started to repose immediately, I wreck. And you can see how I'm standing now, and it looks really stupid. It feels really dumb. My hips are all rotated back. But look in the next picture how much different my tummy looks. And I'm thin. Y'all can see that I'm thin. But when you stand in a certain way in pictures, in this case, I'm kind of pushing my middle out. You can see what it does to the picture versus really just rotating your hips backwards. It makes this look pointier in, and it'll make it look better, especially.
Well, I was gonna say, and
say,
that would actually be a great discussion, especially at some point, like
yeah, I was
lens
just-
discussion.
Yeah, just 'cause we're here.
Let's actually shift you over. There we go, perfect. And I'm curious to see if they'll get focused with this. We might. Okay, so person, when you come in,
Come
a
in.
little bit more. Yeah, but when you do it, start like here, I think, and then like a tighter U. You know. Okay. So ready? 1, 2. I was gonna say, so one thing I do want to point out, if you're doing tethered capture with this, when you start going above 6.5 seconds, it does take a moment before you see the results. But,
Oh, nice.
I'm a little fuzzy, but
yeah, I was gonna say, that's really the fun part sometimes is
yeah.
having to hold a pose.
We did like the feet, arch feet.
But like I said, like one of the things I love about doing this is because you have control of the spacing, doing very interesting things with it. So actually, Lorelai, way sheep, right? Let's actually have you flip spots. Because I'm going to change, I'm going to do something different.
What does it look like when the lights are running up and down?
That's actually what I was about to go to.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a reason why Lorelai is the preferred model, not me.
Oh shush. We can share.
Pretty gorgeous.
So do we want to,
Oh, I can't see what you.
just like zigzag up, down?
I want to chase. Ooh, hold on. Actually, with that one, because we're doing that chase first, let's start at the bottom and then come up. And actually, can we actually have somebody help her on the other end? Actually, start at the very bottom. And
Thank you.
I'm going to come up here. Oops. Oops.
Don't bring that one. See the picture of them. Unless he says not to.
Lorelai, will you come lights up for me?
I just got to remember not to scowl at the camera.
Yeah. Actually, can you, so, because it's coming like the one's coming off twice. So there we go. Okay, you can go ahead and lights off for me. And when you see the flash go off, just like raise it up, just above his head. This is on 8-second exposure, so we should be good. So
So now it's slow.
1, 2. That's gonna be interesting. Okay, you go ahead and sit down now. That's gonna be interesting, especially to see what it does just above. Because you had 3 seconds left when you got there. So I'm very curious to see what it does. That's a little, okay, that's a little too slow.
That's very good.
A little bright.
Okay, so, well, no, actually, I will here in a moment. But now because we went up and with all the brightness, I need to actually take the aperture down to bring the exposure down. I'm going to go. Let's go ahead and do that again.
I'm not sure.
Lorelai, if you'll actually lights up for me, thank you. And let me get focused. Okay, the lights off. All right, ready? 1, 2. So I probably could actually have to go slower, but oh well. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Yeah,
That's okay. That's definitely a lot better. Bring the aperture down. Okay, cool. So,
oh, the red comes out so nice in your costume.
so like,
I want the face
she wants
to
the
go back.
chase effect. Is what it is. Say once.
But that one needs stripes, it looks like a textile blanket.
Looks like a
The
what?
lights in the background look like a textile blanket. Like a heavy woven, like.
It kind of does, yeah.
Well, it could be, hey, it could be a piece of artwork I'm trying to steal.
Actually, hold.
I was just playing with this.
No, we have something there. This was actually something I was thinking about earlier. So let's actually have you start down. Let's step down. Let's go or make sure. But 90 degrees.
Okay, there you go. Like that.
Yeah. Okay. Lights up, please.
Aussies, light.
Make sure lights start low.
It looks cool without the ribbon out.
Alrighty, go ahead and lights down for me. 1, 2. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay. I just want to, especially on the double, which is going to be very interesting. So, let's actually lights up here.
Lights on?
Okay, so
Imagine if you had 2 of them.
that's actually what is about to start. Remember how earlier I said this was a 16-foot set? So now here's going to be the very interesting part, and you can actually set the ribbon down now.
Yeah.
The very interesting part is going to be making sure we have enough width to cover who's in between. That's going to be very fun. Chris, now I'm going to need your help here a little bit. So actually, no, take now. Go ahead and take it up because we're going to now need to come over because there is a cable that needs to go in between.
Oh, okay, that's.
So you see why the depth thing was a concern.
Yeah.
So, I mean, oops. No, my hope I have it right under the cam. Right under the stick there. Right, perfect.
I guess it's the wrong end and the right end.
Yeah. So you start to, so Kirsten, actually, like, kind of see how you got yours. Okay. So you kind of start to see where they chase each other?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're going to definitely need some help on this one. So, person, go back. Set yours down and around. See how mine's like not that far. We need to eat. Let's have it even. See about where yours is. Okay. So, but let's set. So when you lift these up, make sure they're still on the side because we're going to need to get the lights kind of going that way.
So what are we?
So we lift it up to make sure the lights are facing inside.
Facing
Yes.
inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, perfect. So I'm actually going to back up even further for this because once I unhook a chair.
As I mentioned to folks, this is a treat to watch.
You should have the
Okay.
ribbon this time.
What's that?
The ribbon towards you this time. The ribbon.
What?
The ribbon. Take the ribbon
Towards you.
towards you. Kind of
Oh, so we
lights
get caught on the wire though. Would you
Yeah.
guys pick it up?
Yeah.
Slide it
Yeah.
down.
Maybe I'll put it that way.
Oh, slide it. Well, the thing is, that's going to make a very weird blur.
True. True.
But that's okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead and pose for me. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. So, lights out for me. 1, 2. And that's okay if you stop one right there. I could probably bring the timer or the exposure time down. Okay, you need to actually set it down now.
I was just afraid I was gonna hit his head.
Trust me, I've been hit so many times.
Ooh, that's
I like that.
Okay, so I want to try one more with you here before we actually move on to something else here. So I'm going to change the shape. Kristen, I think you're actually in the way of the receiver. There, perfect. That's actually the next one I want. So we'll have you both. Let's actually have you come, like both of you come over here on this end. But I'm going to have you lift. Well, I'm going to need you to stand up. You'll understand why here. Go ahead and pick them up. And we'll go ahead and actually still have the LEDs facing inward. But, so here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So we're going to actually have you both go vertical. And then make sure to go far back enough so the wire doesn't
Hit my head.
Yeah. So what I want you to do, let's actually have you spoke out. No, or keep them straight, keep them straight. Actually, okay. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead.
But what I want you to do when you do that is actually kind of like when we were doing the U-shape with Lorelei earlier. I want you to come in and then kind of U-shape behind them, and then actually just
Crisscross?
don't crisscross because then we highlight you.
But just kind of go
Yeah.
behind screen in the middle.
Yeah, pretty much. So because of that, I'm going to bring the exposure time down. So that's actually.
How close do you want them to start?
Actually, I want to see about full width.
Okay. It's about even-ish?
Yeah, yeah. And oh, lights up. Sorry, I want to. Actually, no. I probably get focused with that. I just now realize that. All right. So ready? 1, 2. And then back away. All right. There we go. Let's.
We tried.
We tried. Whoa.
Whoa.
You guys,
What-
there's no sun either side.
You don't look like that.
LSD track.
Ranger guy.
LSD trap.
I was going to say that
Ethereal attendance.
we're all currently tripping balls. So you can actually go. Let's go ahead and bring the lights up, and let's do something completely different. So I will turn this off, and
You're better.
okay.
This is what we first got. Just what we first got.
So, just doing a time check. Good. I need a new subject in front of the camera.
That's a good effect.
Yeah, let's go ahead with you, Alice. Even though this is going to be not very Alice-like, I'm going to do one right now,
Hey, Wonderland's weird.
which is true. And as I was saying, what were we just talking about drugs? You know?
Yeah. Well, I guess Alice in Wonderland did have a ton of drugs.
Well, Alice
Yeah.
said them all. Oh.
One,
Here's a
two,
little one.
three,
Yes.
Okay, we had a lot of fun So we had a ton of fun with this one at Ushicon. So I was like, yes, we have to do this one again. Who wants to throw around glow sticks? Yes, we're going to need a few of you. But we're going to need some help. We need you to help open it, or to, like, crack it. Yeah. A little bit smaller than the last ones we had.
Yeah.
But that's cool, I like that idea. So yeah, and also, yeah, actually, we're going to use all of them.
Yeah, we're gonna use all.
Light sticks.
We go right.
Who else wants those sticks? You want more?
Yeah, I was gonna say probably like let's go with all no like.
They want some too?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, cool.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I say because we're gonna throw all of them and then. All of them are just.
Oh, go for it. We're breaking all of them.
We're using all of them now.
All of them.
Okay. I like these ones.
Wow, breaking
Okay,
it down.
they're hard to crack.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was wondering about the size.
Yeah, but they glow really well though.
Oh, they're going really well.
These are legit. So I want an excuse to turn this on.
So I gotta remember in the future to actually kind of maybe potentially get the bigger ones in. So actually, while we're waiting for this, anybody have any questions? Say any questions at all, or
We're throwing them up.
We're gonna throw these out.
can you get my? Well, we're gonna play with it. We're gonna play with it.
She's gonna be dodging them.
You know what I always thought about ordering, and unfortunately I couldn't pull it off, was there's actually beach balls you can buy that are clear that you put glow sticks in the middle.
Yeah.
Also LED balloons.
Well, the
they
reason
have
why.
balloons too.
Well, the reason why I mentioned the beach balls, you know, what would be very funny, light painting dodgeball. Why not? Why not?
Make
Right?
your own pong game.
Huh?
Make your own pong game.
Oh yeah.
So just lights. It's just a whole bunch of different lights. If you have fairy lights, if you have
Yeah, like-
lanterns, if you have candles.
Candles will be a little interesting because, well, fire and then like.
Oh, there's that flyer.
I have some LED candles in the game room right now.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we have LED candles in the right now.
I say I have like we actually use a whole bunch for like other photo sets. So I just have like a box of LED candles at home. So just to explain what we're going to do first is we're going to have everybody to the side, but I'll have you. Yeah, that's.
Let's just show them.
Actually, I need to take. Let me give like a 3. So what we recommended to people at Ushicon. I always forget your real name. Megan, okay, let's actually have you step forward a little bit, because I think I want to have you do this. So, what we recommended to people, let's have you toss middle and I'll toss up. So, go, 1, 2, 3, so you see it. And then, when you toss up and I'll toss down, but when you toss down, vary between going a little up. In fact, let's do a little up. So you see it? And then also, and I don't want to hit your person in the head, and then also just a general low. So we actually get some neat coverage that way. So let's go ahead and make it back. And so we're going to need, so for those who have glow sticks, we're going to need to have you on both sides. And let's have an even, pretty even spread. So like, wow, I didn't realize how many.
We got lots of glow sticks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably let's just leave it at 6, like 3 on each side. That'll be easier, and then just kind of get as close to the background as possible, just so you're tossing behind her.
And hopefully not hitting her.
You know, it was really funny. We actually had somebody where like they got one in the crook of their arm while they were posing. It's really
So it hooked
funny.
onto her beads on her dress.
The
Yeah.
object is not to catch them, just throw them to the
Yeah,
other
just
side.
throw them, pick them up on the
So-
ground,
yeah.
So basically, like even if you throw them, because we're going to go for 6.5 seconds, pick them up and still keep tossing. And I'll tell you when we're done. When we're done with the shot. So.
Remember you signed away your consent to the car.
All right.
I have this one button.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Which way is it?
All to the right, all to the right.
It's off.
Playing with one more to the right.
There
There you go.
There we go.
All to the right.
All right. So when you see the flash go off, just start tossing, okay?
Green dropping.
And actually, sorry for you in the back. Can you actually back up a little bit? All right, thank you.
There you go.
All right. 1,
First head in there again.
2.
Oh, sorry, I was face.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
I'm so sorry.
So Kirsten actually just made a real good point on this, is we're actually going to close the door just so we can actually control some of that light spill back there. Because we actually had a better effect with this at Ushicon. But actually one thing I want to point out was, and you had actually called this out when we did this at Icky, was actually kind of the color splashes along the bottom when they land.
Yeah, 3.
That's kind of neat. Yeah, stuff like that, yeah.
What are we doing? So like when it bounces, it does cool stuff like that.
Sorry, should we like designate low, high, medium, so we can
If you want.
I would probably say yes, just to make it a little easier. Before we didn't quite have this even distribution, so I think, let's do that. So,
I'll go low.
Okay.
okay, yeah, so yeah, high, medium, low.
Jen, high, medium.
I'm going high, okay. Like
Yeah.
under
Which one are you
everything.
going?
I'm going low.
You're going like, okay, well.
Yeah, so don't hit my face.
I'm sorry.
Do we need to do opposite of what people across the way?
There we go, perfect.
Yeah. I'm going long, so it shows like long.
Okay, so I'm gonna go high. Did you go low?
Can I actually have lights on for a moment?
Okay, wait, I thought we already decided what we're doing. We've already decided what we're doing.
So what are we doing? So medium.
High, medium, low.
So I'm just medium.
You're just medium. You're just medium.
You just
I do low.
I'm doing opposite.
That, okay, and then, yeah, it doesn't matter, just decide between.
Just toss
I will try not to give you face again, I'm sorry. It's not the match, I'm just uncoordinated.
No, you're fine.
We'll bid it. There we go, perfect. Oh, okay.
Got the whole like.
Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. All right.
Premature throws. Whoops, right.
All right. So, like I said, when the flash goes off, just start throwing. So, 1, 2.
High ones.
Oh my god.
Yeah, go even a little higher on the flash.
Nope, too high.
Okay, you're good. You're good. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I was about to say, we're not getting that goes. Actually picking up this too.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember how earlier somebody asked if we were going to throw some at her?
Yeah.
Not quite. Not entirely. So let's actually have. I probably just need 4 of you, but we're going to need all of the lights, and you'll understand why here in a moment. I just need actually. I just need 4 of you to the corners.
Here, 4.
Yeah.
Not very good.
Well, no, to the front corners. Yeah. You'll understand why here in a moment.
We have 1.
I need another one over here.
Corner, where? Okay, bring it with me. Okay, where are we? Okay, we need a corner.
Yeah, we're going to turn to the front corners.
Watch out, babe.
Because remember how earlier we were trying to do things with depth, especially with the LED strip?
Right, like I insulted your wife.
What's that?
Said throw it like I insulted your wife.
Well, so actually, I don't want to have you come as far back. Let's actually have you go like right there, but low. Yeah.
I'm gonna filter some there.
Yeah, that's right. So,
Pass them back.
I am. There's one more over there on the floor. There's another glow stick. Go get it. It's lovely, Tammy.
okay, so what I'm going to have everybody do, so we'll have you just do like high-low, but kind of like throw to the middle of the background behind her.
So it's okay if we get the battery first.
Yes, in fact, that's what I want. And then Kristen will help actually
I'll
with
try to
that.
go out without being too much of a pressure.
Yeah, I'm actually going to reframe it.
Okay, we're kind of going diagonal around her. Like,
Yes.
you do like a boomerang effect?
Yeah. And actually, no, let's hit
Don't hit the
a little bit. Thank you. Okay.
Dude, whoever did athletics, I was in the CT. She took her here to boomerang.
Don't hit her in the back.
Or if you do, don't hit her hard. Don't injure
I
her.
promises.
Okay. Let me get into focus here. Okay, we can lights off here. All right, and like I said, when the flash goes off, just throw 1, 2. Okay. We can go ahead and stop gonna say, I think that such a thing would probably actually work better with the larger glow
We also have
sticks.
someone like here too to get more angles and variation.
Actually, let's go ahead and do that. So, let's actually go ahead and have somebody mid.
Front and mid?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Best maybe a quicker.
Alright, yeah, so. Anything for here?
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that pose. That's a good one. Hey, Kirsten, do me one favor, because that corner of that backdrop is kind of in a little bit. So if you want to like kind of, yeah, there we go. It looks a little uneven on camera, so that's kind of like, yeah, whatever. All right.
You can like twist those however you want.
Say good timing, by the way. All right. 1, 2. Okay, we're good.
Here they have all the
Ooh.
Ooh, that's cool.
That one is cool.
Actually, so let's do that one more time, but I'm gonna have you flip that pose to the face of the light.
Okay.
All right, go
So
ahead.
they're different colors.
Yeah, lights back on quick.
And there's some glue sticks.
Frame.
Okay, like a motherfucker. Shake, shake, shake.
All right, everybody ready?
Do you need some more?
I got some, I got plenty.
1, 2. And we're good.
Did you stop those at his tossed? No, we didn't get them.
Okay, that's very interesting. Like I said, I think stuff like this would actually work better. You can go ahead and light this up for me.
With bigger glow
I think it would
like
probably.
2 seconds, we just threw them all at her. See your face?
Hey, why not?
So basically for like a photography done like myself, so basically that flash gets that, her pose and then, but it flashes all the lights come on.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. So,
So we're
That we don't do
throwing
minutes?
what's that?
We're throwing them around here, like real close.
Don't matter. I mean, just not.
Don't hit her, please.
Just don't hit her too hard.
Actually, do that pose.
Yeah. That's good. We can throw them about waist level. So
Yeah, like,
that's
so it hits like the bottom of the skirt and
So
not
waist,
her.
like petticoat.
Are we throwing all of them at one time or just one at a time again?
Actually, throw them all together. I'll set for 4 seconds. That should be enough to kind of.
Okay.
Oh, you dropped one.
You dropped one, by the way.
If you can't drop one, throw it. Jesus.
That was really
Glow
right.
sticks over there?
All right, we're ready. There we go.
Fired. You're fired, Cam.
Fail.
1, 2. Okay, we're good. Oh, okay.
I like that one.
There's something about leaving glow sticks on the ground is actually really interesting. I like that.
They look like glowing magical objects. Like,
Yeah.
I really thought of Doom. You know, they got like the
Oh, you're
glowing
right,
things on
yeah.
them.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they coming toward her or coming, is she bringing them out of the ground?
They're coming right. She killed everybody.
And she's summoning them.
Conjuring.
Exactly.
Here's another question.
Yeah.
Are the glow sticks, do they have enough light to basically, if supposedly she moved during the period when they were being drawn?
Ooh. I will say I can't answer that question without experimentation of my own, but it is something to think about with any light source. Especially because like because there is not like the idle LED glow sticks, because I know how expensive those are. But there is like cheap LED glow sticks out there, so that might be one where I'd say, yeah, you probably like would want to experiment and see if that's potentially an issue.
Yeah, funny thing, I actually
So sorry.
I glow sticks as my regular flashlights and stuff.
Ah,
Yeah.
there we go.
What if we table
Okay,
it
so
in my
actually I just need to do a quick time.
That would be.
6:51.
6:51.
Okay, So let's actually let's go ahead and have you come out there, Megan. Thank you. So we're
Being a
actually.
good sport letting us throw glow sticks at you.
Would a saber get a fix?
What's that?
Would a saber get
Yes.
We've actually done that. It takes a lot more planning, but we have seen some neat stuff with it, which is kind of cool. So we can actually go ahead and have everybody up here sit down. You can actually keep the glow sticks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bad things could happen.
Just don't throw them at people.
Okay, no promises.
So if they're thrown at you, you get some too. If you want a little string if you want a string for it.
This.
Not a glow, you want a glow stick?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
I say he has a really huge glow stick apparently because he's got.
Yeah,
his
he does. He
lightsaber.
don't get a glow stick.
Well,
He is the glow stick.
well, I will say this convention does not have breaks, so.
Yeah. Even though, are you supposed to be Jedi or Sith?
Sith.
Okay, you're actually going to be good for this one. But we're not going to use your So I know Sith are typically, they do force lightning, but we're going to kind of fake it a little bit. So, actually, so kind of along those lines, one thing I've thought about was actually, because there's always LED rave toys,
Yeah.
and there's some crazy stuff out there, and I thought about trying to maybe see what could be done with that. I don't know if they're bright enough. Yeah, that's the only concern. Because that's like the one, some experiments I did, actually with DJ lighting, just actually for general photography, is because a lot of venues are dark. We've all been, we all live in Austin, so we know how dark some of those places can get. So they're not very bright. Without for really adjusting exposure, you probably have that same problem. But LED rave toys might usually tend to be a bit brighter. So, but worth experimenting with. Okay, so this is another set of tools we haven't had a chance to use yet. So what I've got here is what's called a universal adapter. It's from a company called Light Painting Brushes. And so basically you just get normal flashlight. And it's like, well, what the hell do you do with this? Does the front size of that look familiar to anybody? I'm just curious.
Is the size of a PVC pipe?
Close. A water bottle. Whoop, one second. And they literally had designed it for this. This was like one of their first products. Because then, once I get that damn thing on there. So you see where this is going, okay?
Yeah.
And so this was just a $1.50 water, bottle of water at HEB. This is all acrylic paint, which is what I'd highly recommend. Now, if you decide to ever try this out, the adapters are $20 or like 3 for $50. But if you try this out when you're painting these, I want to point out two things that I ran into when I was experimenting with these. Is for one, the neck. Because you've got really thick plastic there, that's going to sometimes cause a problem, but we have a way to solve for that too, or at least one I would prefer to use. It's this stuff called Cinefoil. Any photographers in the house, this is now your new best friend, 101 right now. So,
Well, glad you just walked in.
so what? So actually, I'm gonna pass a couple pieces around because I want people to see what this stuff is. 'Cause that's
Just be
pretty
careful and
neat
don't
stuff.
cut yourself. I've cut myself on it. See
Yeah, I was gonna say, be careful with it. So what this basically does, actually, I will, and especially for you if you want to actually show off what in front of the camera. So basically, it blocks light. It's aluminum foil covered with a dark material that blocks light. very, very handy in a lot of cases. And not only just for blocking light, but also shaping it for doing like really cool things like snoots. I've actually done stuff with, we did neat stuff with, or at least I experimented with neat stuff like interference patterns, which was pretty cool. Yeah. So, and you don't absolutely have to use this stuff. It is kind of pricey, but it's worth it. If you wanted to use gaff tape, but then you also have to worry about if the gaff tape removes paint too. So there is that concern. So I'm going to cover that neck first. And then also going back to the whole thing with the, right there, cool. Another thing with the whole paint is also the bottom, because it's also real thick. You'll want to put a really thick coat of paint up here. Otherwise it's going to be a lot thinner, or you're going to get a lot more light that will leak out compared to the rest of the body. So, actually I think this, yeah, let's, so what we're going to have you do, let's go with the high setting, but it'll alternate. Okay. So let's actually get you posed, and I want to have, I'm trying to think, I want to do this. Let's actually have you face that way, but we're going to like pretend to do force lightning. So let's actually go ahead and have you pose there.
Oh, do you guys want your black wings back?
What's that?
You on the back now?
Oh, no, that's fine, that's fine. Actually, let's have you step forward a little bit. Okay, so first I'm going to have you do this here. So let's actually get you set up here. I'll show you. I'm just going to start on low. Let's go ahead and have you pose again. So after the flash comes off, because we'll have you start on light off. I want you, or go ahead and do this for me. Just kind of start.
Swirling?
Yeah, do that number. Okay. Well, like I said, start with light off first, and we're going to go to high. Okay, so let me go ahead and get focused. Yeah. And remember, don't turn it on until you're
behind you.
Yeah. And actually, probably don't turn it on until like you're behind his arm. Okay. All right, so lights off for me. 1, 2. Actually, I might need to redo that, but this will be a great starting example. I need to actually.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I'm actually going to up the exposure time.
It goes to you.
So, hey Kristen, actually one thing when you do that, actually go around his arm. Yeah, to really kind of fit the.
That would be weird, but all right.
Yeah, but that's fine. And this might actually help me illustrate something here in a moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and pose again. And Kristen, you want to go ahead and get into place. Was it easier to like start from that side to just?
Well, I think here, because then I'll just like.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, because like I said, go around his arm. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So go ahead and back out so we're not in the shot. All right. 1, 2.
Like firefighting.
Well, that's actually kind of what I want to do because
That's pretty cool.
force lightning. There is kind of ways to do force lightning, kind of like how somebody mentioned fairy lights earlier. That would be close. They are a little thin, so you might want to try to figure out how to.
Wrap them together.
Well, that's one thing. And actually, one thing you and I had talked about was actually maybe dip them in resin and make them a little bit bigger. You know, just get some like easy cast resin. That would probably work too. So, real quick. Oh, I need. Who doesn't get dizzy easy? Okay, you might want to like not wear your hood. There's going to be a reason for this though. But before I do this, I'm actually going to change my light up some for a reason. So, I love these umbrellas. They're great. They're strong because they're fiberglass, so they don't bend easy. And they're all $40 from Westcott. Only buy their umbrellas, don't buy anything else, they're too damn expensive. Okay, so, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go with a more shaped light. So, this here is just a 7-inch reflector. I think this was actually like $10 a precision camera. And then just a honeycomb grid to kind of help shape the light a little bit more, which is what we want to do. So I'm going to throw that on. So I do actually need somebody to pose for me on this one though. Actually, wait, let's get one for you. Let's get one on you. I'm gonna have you not face the camera, but I have an idea for you, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Do this.
So this is going to need a little bit of setup, but for a reason, and you'll understand why soon. Sorry. And we actually got some really cool shots.
I remember last time.
Well, this is actually something different.
Oh.
We actually did this. Do you actually remember the Visas character from that was at the cosplay shot demo you were at Okashi? The one with like the hooded visor and stuff like that.
I vaguely remember, yeah.
It was something close to that.
Yeah.
So.
Is it?
It's like scarecrow.
Hey, Kirsten. I might need your help on this one for a reason. I just realized, I didn't realize that this doesn't really go very tall. I think so. Kind of like what we did with your Uranus. Okay. So let's start there first. So I want to make sure we get that shot. We don't have to turn the lights off. I'm going to come back down to a normal.
Like up here?
Yeah. Actually, face the light there. So, go ahead and look up, because it's supposed to be kind of like a goddess pose in a sense. That's kind of what. And actually, let's have you scoot in a little bit there. Oh no, that way. Sorry.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, there we go. But turn your face a little bit towards, not quite that, a little bit to your right, just a tad. There we go. Let's go with that. Let's make sure this is good.
Oh, I didn't blink.
Wow.
Okay, no, that's a good start. That's a great start. Okay. So, where did I set my light? I set my, oh, you already set it down. Never mind.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Oh, the light I just had.
Actually, if you're doing that,
What's that?
The light you just, the
flashlight?
Like, I have
Yeah.
it over there.
hey,
It's right up.
can someone could get my bag and grab the really long ribbon from the bag.
Your bag.
Oh, ribbon upgrade.
Ribbon upgrade.
Ribbon upgrade?
Yes, because it's magic.
I don't see it.
What's
It's in the
the
packet.
what's the game with Madoka Magica record? Like,
Is it in there?
Oh, there we go, in the package.
Yeah. Throw over.
okay. So also from light painting brushes, when I saw this, I was like, okay, I gotta play with this. So everybody's familiar with those fiber optic lamps, right? Well, have you ever seen fiber optic that's all black?
No?
Hold on, let me.
Something like this.
Oh, that's a little awful.
Okay, so you're starting to see the possibilities here, right? So this is why I wanted somebody who didn't get dizzy, for a reason. So, I was gonna say, you said you were willing to do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, no worries. So, what I'm gonna have you do, I'm probably gonna have to do like a kind of a lengthy exposure on this one, so it's gonna be a little bit for you. So what I'm gonna have you do, you're gonna try to,
I just need, if you want to do something like this, we'll just spread it.
actually it's gonna be a concern, you might step on it though.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it. The ribbons are not expensive, so.
Okay.
Going down like this way?
Let's actually
Or around?
let's actually curl it around, because especially with this shot. Now when you pose, actually let's have bring your wand back a tad bit. So what I'm gonna have you do, so when you see the flash go off, just like your the buttons down here. So I'm gonna have you come in, and you're gonna go around. But when you go around, kind of make sure it's in front of you at all times, so
Okay.
you're not blocking it. But what we're going to do is have you kind of twirl around him. You know, and make sure like when you come up to about shoulder height, like not block his face.
Okay.
So person, we're going to need to have you come back some. And let's see if we get this to work. I'm going to take you back. I'm going to go with a 10-second exposure. So hopefully you can hold that pose for 10 seconds.
I think I can.
And thankfully there's not a ton of light, so it's only going to be from this. So lights off for me. And like I said, when you see the flash go off, just go ahead and turn it on to start twirling, okay?
Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2. Oh, actually, no, not quite what I meant.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nope.
Try it again.
All right.
But also, you gotta like try to rotate so you keep that between you and the camera.
Actually,
Oh, someone else wants to take a
are you a photographer, or at least?
Ooh,
What you need?
that's actually.
I will actually go ahead and do that because I had the idea in mind and people will understand why.
Sure.
So so you know half. Well, I was gonna say Pete. I know you're kind of busy, so.
He's kind of a photographer.
Yeah, he's kind of busy. So I've already got his focus point set up. So if you there's shutter button. So just go ahead and half press down, make sure it gets focus. It'll.
Okay, sound pressed.
Okay. So let's go ahead and lights off, and just give me a countdown before you press the shutter. Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't do that at all. That.
Okay. And because it's a 10, whoa, that's my own cable. And because it's a 10-second exposure, it takes some planning, but
You know, I just realized this one, a few times the slide shot actually looks good on me.
what's that?
Usually side shots don't look that good on me, but yeah, this looks.
I was gonna say, this actually,
Looks like an anime screenshot, honestly.
yeah.
You try to do this really quick?
Yeah, why not?
Who wants to be a light stand? Anyone?
Light stand. Light stand.
Just like, I think I had it here-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Okay, so trying to decide. I think it's from the screen, but I think I'm kind of okay with that. All right. So go ahead and lights off for me. And yeah, this one's screen. All right, that's fine. So actually, lights up real quick. I'm going to go down in aperture. No, I went. Yeah. Okay. So 1, 2. Okay, you can stop now. Say 8 really 10-second exposures. There we go. Should.
Whoa.
Oh, that's neat.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons why.
It looks like you're being possessed by a spirit. That's pretty cool.
That almost happens. I think that almost happens to her a couple times.
So it's actually canon.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I was trying to remember. It may be manga specific. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
But-
So I think we've only got a few more minutes left. Yeah, we've got like 19 minutes left. Let's go ahead and actually sit down.
Yeah, good.
You can
Good.
actually go ahead and set that back down. So I'm going to do one very last thing because people love it when we do this one. And unfortunately, Stephanie did not put it together real quick. You want to put the envelope or the garage?
Thank you, Transfer, very much.
So, remember how earlier we were playing around with the, actually I'm going to make sure I'm in this camera frame there. So remember how earlier we were playing around with the LED strips? So there's one really neat toy out there that is just crazy, and I need to get together. So this is what's called the Pixel Stick. And,
How exactly do you get this thing off?
huh? There should be it just rotates. And also, I'll get that in a moment. Oh, yeah. So, remember some of the crazy stuff we did with just the LED strips earlier?
Yes.
Once I get this on there. Once I get it on there. Oops. Say really. So technology, damn it. Say normally it's not this difficult, ladies and gentlemen, but of course go figure. Yeah, thank you. That was good. There we go. Perfect. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? So get that in place. So you saw like how few LEDs were in the LED strips, right? For the length. So this actually has 200 of them.
That's awesome.
Why is it only half of it?
Oh, is it only? Did it only?
It only went to half of it.
Oh, I see. Well, oh, probably because it's not connected. It's actually not fully connected. It's what it is.
Sorry.
No, it's good you said that now.
Yeah.
That would have screwed up what we're doing next.
Well, and also to that point, you could actually just use half the stick if you didn't need the full length. If you did the planning right for that. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yay! Okay. So, we're not going to use the flash just yet, but I am going to take down the exposure time because we don't quite need that many seconds. I'm going to well, actually, I'm going to actually take the card out because I have a card with number of files. I want to show a demo file. And Christine, you can actually step out for a moment because I'll do this one. That's fine. Select the demo. Mr. Rainbow. Okay. Kirsten, we don't really need to focus. I just need to start somewhere so everybody sees this, sees what's about to happen.
Okay.
So you know, everybody. Good?
All right.
Go ahead and just let me know.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Now.
It's not really meant to do
And we're
anything. Okay, cool. So it basically just takes an image and paints it as you walk. So I'm going to put the card back in. And since Kirsten is actually Sabrina, I'm going to use something very appropriate, even though we haven't used this one yet. So I'm going to be very curious how this works. Let me see the framing on that real quick. Oh yeah, I think we're good. So, actually one thing I do want to do is actually take the exposure time up. Take it up to 8 seconds. Okay, cool. So you want to go ahead and get focused for me?
Lights on for a second. Or, well, we might be able to get it. Let's see. We're focused. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
I get it.
And we're off.
That's not what I did.
You know, I really should have the flash on, but it's not on. I think this might.
You really got to turn the flash on.
So let's do that. Actually, I'm just going to take that out. And there's actually a little bit more we can build on this, and I think we'll have enough time to do it. I'm just going to leave the reflector on. Let's just
That could actually be cool.
that one more time. I think I might need to slow the speed down though.
Just a tiny gap right there.
Yeah. Well, thankfully. Now, one great thing about the Pixel Stick is you can actually adjust your images within this. The only problem is the files are actually really low resolution. They're 200 pixels in height. Well, 200 pixels, it works. So one concern you have if you need to slow the speed down is if you slow it down usually lower than 80%, and just for what it's worth, it can actually travel its whole length in about 2 seconds to give you some idea of how to do the measurement for like pixels versus speed. Once you start getting below 80%, it starts to look really pixelated. You can tell. So that is something to keep in mind if you ever acquire one of these and use it. So let's go ahead and actually get the shot going. Let me go to that.
Oh, hang on. Okay, we got focus.
All right, just let me know.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Done.
All right. Say what is?
Oh, that's cool.
So there is actually a little, just even a little bit more. And actually, I need to actually get out and shop when I do that. So I'm going to need a couple, or just a couple people, real quick, because we're actually going to add a little bit more light to it. Turn you on. Why don't I put the heck? So, what we're going to do is these. I don't want white light because I just mostly want the white light on her. But does anybody notice anything about the flame effect versus the rest of the floor? I want to very specifically call that out.
The flames look like they are just like sticking up over the floor. It's like
well, that's part of it, but what I really want to call out is, well, flame is light, right? Mm-hmm. So why would the light on the floor be white if there's flames, right?
The shadow's too much, yeah.
We can fix it with these in color gels. So why not? Let me.
She pointed out a good thing. Big old shadow thing, slightly off looking.
What's that, sorry?
The giant shadow.
Yeah. Well, that's also the joys of hard light, but like I said, these are not meant to be perfect, which is okay.
You can put it on.
So, because I don't really want to bother with getting more light stands out, I'm going to need people to play as light stands.
Okay.
But let me get these set up first. So, I think I'll go with those two.
How tall of the lights need to be?
It can be any height because I'm actually going to have you point to the floor.
Okay.
And thankfully, because these are radio triggered, let's get you on. Let's do group C. That's fine. We are. Group C. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure these.
They all synchronize to each other.
What's that?
And they can all talk to each other.
Yeah. That's also the other reason why I like these is because the system's so wide. So that's great. So thankfully, we have good old rubber bands. And so I do, actually, I probably just have one of you just from sitting there. Okay. Just hold the other light. So.
I like that.
So let's, I will be honest, for these particular lights, I'm not super fond of them because they're honestly kind of small.
Didn't it kill one with the pool?
No, that's actually one of my, that was one of these that died. I wish it was one of these, honestly. Would have been so mad myself. So let's have one of you. And then let me get this one in there. Well, what I'm gonna actually have you do is point it more towards like, about like in front of her feet. But what I mostly was trying to do was get the orange color. That was my big thing. And we'll have you on the other side, all right, doing the same, about the same height. Point at her feet. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to try to step way more out of the way for this. Okay, so we got focus.
Well, hang on, because
Oh, lights back
you
up,
need
yes.
to come forward a bit, because your head's off the top of it, or something. There we, let's see. Okay, focus. 3, 2, 1, go. And done.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this actually covered all the light.
All the light. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see here in a moment. Maybe. Actually, I know what the problem is. I need to actually bring the power up on those because they're actually pretty.
Yeah, they're really.
So we're not doing much visible.
Yeah. Let's actually do 1/8 power. All right, and we'll give that one more try, and then I think we're actually going to be fairly close to done.
Yeah, but I think this may be a little bit bigger piece.
Oh, well, I only have those sizes, that's the only problem. So we'll go ahead and just try it to see what it does, all right? And actually, let's have you point more towards the floor. Yeah, there we go. I think that let's have you closer, that would help. All right.
Okay.
So you got focus?
Focus ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Done.
All right, let's see if that might work. And even if it doesn't, this actually does illustrate some good points about things you have to think about for getting things to look right in camera. Yeah, it's going to need a little bit more work, but that's okay.
Did you get the idea of the fun with the pixels?
Yeah, and just,
Although I do wonder, like someone probably had a need for this, and you know, invent something like this, you know.
Yeah.
The first time I actually saw those was when my sister and I were at Comic-Con and we were Sailor Moon characters, and some dude was like, "This thing can do a moon. Come with me. We're gonna do photos." We never got the photos, but we told him about the thing, and then he went and bought one.
oh, thank you. And yeah, I was gonna say, these are really cool. Now, one thing I will point out about the, oh shit, that's not the button I wanted. At least I did not blind myself, I pointed it down. So, one thing I will point out about the pixel stick, is that I would not recommend doing heavily detailed images, especially gradients, because it doesn't handle transitions very well. I actually did an article on our website specific to that, especially with some Sailor Moon graphics, because I was like, oh yeah, we're all Sailor Moon trash, we gotta do, try some stuff. But I want to make sure it worked, so we didn't have to go try to fix a bunch of stuff in post. So I did a bunch of testing and found out that with the background, well, some of the backgrounds we had a bunch of gradients in them, went weird. So I would say probably if you were to ever get one of these, stick with something simple as far as your images go.
And then there's how the boo turned green with one of the settings.
Oh yes, because we were at the lowest power. With certain colors, it turned white to green. But we know it's because of the way the LEDs do the colors, and that's what it was. It's because it didn't have enough power to get a bright color to make it white. So it's like, it's green. So, hope everybody had fun at this demo.
There's post-its of
And there's video proof.
Yes, exactly. So, like I said, like I started at the beginning, we didn't want this to be perfect. We just want people to have fun with it, just kind of see new things. And if there's anything you got out of this demo, we hope it's just get dumb ideas and make them awesome. You can find our website, it's makethemawesome.com. We are at Make Them Awesome literally on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest. I think I actually got a Pornhub account just for brand protect, so. But anyway, if you can find us, I actually have business cards if anybody wants to, hit me up about any questions. And like I said, I hope you had a great time.
Also,
Thank you, Ushicon.
anything that can do along with the